What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Alright, so we got another how to build, boyos. We're going to be building the 23rd World Tournament Piccolo Jr., or my Jr. as a lot of people go with, the Deathmatch for World Domination Piccolo Jr. Giant Form. His leader skill is Gifted Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors, or Giant Form category Key 3 and HP Attack and Defense 100%, plus an additional HP Attack and Defense of 30% for characters who also belong to the Battle of Fate or World Tournament category. His super attack, which only has a 12 key, is the Explosive Demon Wave. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy and a high chance of stunning, so 50%. And his passive skill, almost an active skill, passive skill is Demon King's Grudge. Activates the interest animation upon the character's entry once only. High chance of launching an additional super attack, so 50% chance for 1 turn from the character's entry turn. And key +2 and attack and defense of 101% for 5 turns from the character's entry turn. Key +3 and attack and defense of 150% at start of turn, plus an additional defense and attack of 20% with each super attack performed up to 100%. Attacks are effective against all types when facing one enemy. Medium chance of launching an additional super, so he has 2 chances of launching 2 supers in that first turn. He has 50% and then 30% as 2 separate instances because there's 2 separate attacks. Plus an additional attack and defense of 60% within the same turn after receiving an attack, so he's your slot 1 unit. Plus an additional attack and defense of 100% and all enemies attack and defense minus 30% as the first attacker in a turn. Plus an additional attack and defense of 100% when performing a super attack and a high chance of launching an additional super attack as the second or third attacker in a turn. You'll only get this if you have one in your second or third slot. And he turns into Giant Form when conditions are met. Turns into Giant Form and HP 60% or less starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. I don't use that much. I really don't. I'm going to cover it, but I don't use it too much. His active skill is Super Explosive Wave. Massively raises attack temporarily, causes mega colossal damage to all enemies, disables action of every enemy once within the turn, and can be activated when HP is 50% or less starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, or when facing 2 or more enemies once only. When he does in fact transform into Giant Form Piccolo, he just massively raises attack temporarily, causes destructive damage, gets key 3 and attacks effective against all types, and a high chance of forming a crit. So nothing too fancy about it. He's not a terrible unit when he's in Giant Form, but I wouldn't recommend using it. You're generally going to keep him in this form here is your best bet. He fits on 4 200% leader skill teams. The Zamasu, the Year 8, Year 8 Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and base form Goku, the Topo, as well as the 23rd World Tournament Goku, which is kind of funny that he fits on that as well, because these are Red Fighters plus the World Tournament, I'm sorry. So how we build this man, he's a little bit different. He's all additionals, but with him being INT type, he gets that 5% built-in dodge. So how I built mine, generally, is I'm going to delve into that a little bit here in a second. How I built mine is I went top left exclusively, went 8 dodge because he has a guaranteed built-in 5, like I said, so I gave him 1 path of dodge, so I gave him 8 dodge, 3 additional, 3 crit, so 3, 3, and 8. And then the bottom right path, I went 9 additional, so that puts him at 12 additional, 6 crit, because I gave him 3 on the bottom, and 8 dodge. So he's 12, 6, and 8 along the bottom path, right? 12, 6, and 8. So that's what he has for both of his paths, top left and bottom right. I went 12, 6, and 8, which is pretty average across the board. The reason I didn't go super high with the crits is because of the amount of additionals he does do. And I really wanted to let him just keep popping up those additionals, especially getting supers, so we can get this stat up as fast as we physically can while we still have this additional 101% for those first 5 turns. Because if he's turn 1, you'll only get him 3 times during those first 5 turns. So if you can max this out, you'll see a higher attack stat for those first 5 turns and defensive stat to be on that point, as well as him getting this and this when he's in slot 1. So you could really maximize on those stats if you get more supers off. Plus he raises attack and defense for that 1 turn. What I went with my skill orbs, which is kind of because I didn't really have the best skill orbs at the time, and I still kind of really don't. It's the same thing I usually been running into. I went additional crit for slot 1, for the bronze, I'm sorry. Crit additional, technically. For slot 2, silver, I went crit additional as well. And for the gold slot, I went crit dodge. I put a little bit of a dodge in there just to put him up to a level 12 dodge. So overall, my unit is sitting at 17 additional, 14 crit, and 12 dodge. If you guys would like to see me start putting across the other stats that I put on screen, I can do that too, but they're pretty generic because I usually don't add those extra ones in. But he's sitting at 17 with all my skill orbs, 17 additional, 14 crit, and 12 dodge across the board. So again, the unit's really good. He's very nice to have on your teams. He's actually one of the better units still, so up to this point, surprisingly. He doesn't have a guard, and he does not have damage reduction, but he's still really, really good, really, really offensive, which is kind of really nice. But there you guys have it. He is very straightforward, and he fits actually on one of the new banners that is out right now, which is really the reason why I wanted to cover this. He is on this banner for you guys to be able to summon for. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys back here next time for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. See you guys then.